welcome to this week's video. First of all, I apologize. I know that I have been a while without posting anything on YouTube here. I confess I was a bit overconfident on my skills to juggle a full-time job with an art practice and posting videos on YouTube here with some kind of frequency. I had to start from scratch. I didn't know anything about editing or making videos, so it took me a long time to get around it and learning curve. So I had to take a decision in the beginning of the year how to share my time better, and I decided that I would focus a bit more on practicing painting and practicing watercolor. So I put YouTube aside for a while until now, when, as you can see, I have some kind of a nerve pain here on my right hand, so I had to take a break from painting. So I decided it would be a good opportunity to come back to YouTube and post something more for you, and I hope you enjoy it. This time I'm gonna be doing a sketchbook tour. I'm very happy to be filming this because usually I don't finish sketchbooks because I have so many sketchbooks. I keep switching between different types of sketchbooks, so it takes me a long time to finish one. And this one I bought it last year around August when I went traveling to Italy, and I wanted to bring a sketchbook with me to practice, so I bought this one and I really liked it, and that's why I ended up finishing it. This is a Bockingford paper. It's 300 grams or 140 pounds, A5 size. There's no indication here that this is a cotton paper, so I assume it's just a cellulose paper, but I really like it. It behaves very similarly, in my opinion, to a cotton paper, and it just brings out the textures in granulating paints very beautifully. So I really enjoyed using this. So now I'm gonna share what I use this for, and I hope you like it. So that's the first page. I mean, it's nothing special. As usual with first pages in sketchbook, there's always that pressure that you need to be... Sorry, let me just try to get the angle better here. Yeah, so there's that pressure that you need to be doing a masterpiece on the first page of the sketchbook. I'm gonna put my little rabbit here on the side. So I don't know, I always feel that in my first pages in sketchbooks is always a bit stiff. I feel that this is a bit stiff as a composition. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite. But then I continue using it and I enjoy it more. So one thing I really liked about this sketchbook is that you can use both sides of the page, and that's what I did here, you see. I used this side to paint this sunflower, and that's when I really fell in love with this paper, because you will notice here there's this beautiful granulation appearing here. You can see the texture of the paint. It appears really nice, and the colors, they come up so vibrant. It's really, I don't know how they do that, but if it's really a cellulose paper, it's, in my opinion, the best one. I really enjoyed this paper, and it's not very expensive. I'll leave a link down below for this sketchbook on Amazon. And yeah, I like to paint small, so for me A5 it's a great size, and I really enjoy working on that. Actually, this one and the first one I also painted in Italy, as I did this one, inspired by the rooftops I was seeing there. So I posted this to my Instagram as well. I did some little houses with a limited color palette. Really enjoyed this one. Then I used the other side to make this bird, but an accident happened. I was painting another page and I didn't realize that it kind of smudged a little bit here, the paint. It's not bad. It's not one of my favorite, but you know, I was testing. Then I did this. I think I was already back home here in Ireland. I did this elephant here, circus elephant, even though I am completely against animals in circles, but I don't know why. I just had this idea of drawing this elephant. Here, it's just an exercise. I started some video on YouTube teaching how to paint also little houses, but I didn't like, so I stopped midway. This I also painted on Instagram. It's a negative painting that I did using only turquoise and orange. You can see here better in details. I use a bit of colored pencils also on the top to give some texture. I really like doing negative painting. It's kind of one of these things that it can be complicated, but for me it's also relaxing. I don't know how to explain. It's very relaxing to see the painting developing as you keep adding layers and layers. So I really enjoyed this one. I think I did based on a photograph I took of some flowers. I forgot the name of this plant. It has the round leaves, the orange flowers. Are they geraniums? I'm not sure. This one I left blank. This one was a failed attempt to reproduce something I saw on the Donkey Kong game for the Switch. Every time there was a new level starting, there was this kind of 3D scene with many layers and some nice color, how can I say, some it was just a nice color palette and all that, and I got that in my head and I tried to reproduce here, but it really didn't work at all like I was thinking. So yeah, then here I went for another negative painting that I didn't finish. I don't know why. There was some shells I started, but yeah, I should just add some details. I probably can finish this sometime. Then this one was draw this in your style that I did. I posted it on Instagram as well. It was George, I can't remember the whole name of the account right now, but I'll put a note here on the video. It was very fun and I really enjoyed it. It was my second attempt actually, because the first time I tried, I just tried using colors that I like and it became a mess very quickly. So this one I decided to try a limited palette, so I chose, if I'm not mistaken, I chose ultramarine blue, also yellow and magenta, I think. Yeah, and then I mixed the colors from there. So yeah, it was fun and I really enjoyed it. Cute character. Here's empty. Here's just, I don't know, some some pebbles. I was doing some mixes with the Schminke paints. I didn't buy the super granulating new ones. Instead I bought the pigments, the separate colors that have the pigments used for the super granulating ones, and then I was doing some tests of color mixes and stuff, and I had some paint left, so I painted these pebbles, I suppose. You can see there's a lot of granulation going on here because I was using all these pigments that granulate. So yeah, what else? Here was when I just joined Louisa Normay's watercolor club. It's a subscription that she runs of watercolor projects. She releases a new project every month where she describes in detail all the materials, all the steps, to do a painting from the beginning to the end. And then there's a lot of projects. There's two types. You can do one that is 3 projects per month, or you can have the unlimited one. That's the one I joined, where you have access to all the past projects. So it's really fun. I practiced a lot. I learned a lot as well. I was painting every day, doing her projects, and this was the first one. It was actually not a project, it was just a live she did, and she left available to do animal in the forest. So I did this very quickly, like not a lot of thought involved, just a fox in the woods. Yeah, it was fun. Then this one was another live she put available on the club. It was about mushrooms. So I created this with some leftover paint I had on my palette, and I really enjoyed the mixes and stuff. The club is very nice. It's a good way to practice, you know, the watercolor skills and learn new things. The only thing is that because I'm Brazilian and also she's Brazilian, the club is run in Portuguese only, so if you don't speak at least Spanish, it would be I guess would be a bit hard to follow along, you know. Here's another one of the projects from the club with a limited palette with these colors here that she used, and I used the same as she did. She showed how to mix them, and I really like this project because first of all, I just love this type of teal, and together with orange or red, it's one of my favorite colors, color combinations. And apart from that, I have a tendency, I don't think too much about contrast, or how can I say, when I paint, I used to, now I'm thinking more about it, but I used not to think about, you know, have a very light tone, a medium tone, and a dark tone. And after doing these projects with Luisa, it made me think more about that when painting, to create more contrast, because I really like paintings with a lot of contrast. So that's what we practice here. You can see in the butterfly there, dark tones, light tones. It's really fun. Then here I was just doing some tests of mixes, color palette, limited color palette. But you see how this paper behaves, you know, it's not like a regular run-of-the-mill cellulose paper. I don't know, you see the colors, how they mix here. It's really nice, and you see this, you don't see like where one color finishes and the other starts. So that's what I really like about this paper. Here was another project from the club about skin tones, different skin tones. So I did these 2 characters here. Then this was a study I did. This is not an original artwork. I saw an artwork from Melanie April on Instagram, and I really like her artwork, so I decided to try to mimic a bit of what she did, to understand the way she uses her paints. I don't claim this to be mine at all. I just wanted to understand better how to use the paints in the way she uses, because I think she creates very beautiful compositions and playing with textures and this very light color transitions, like you can see here. And so it was really interesting trying to do that, because I usually don't paint that light. So it was an exercise, and then from there I created kind of my own composition here, kind of a deep sea scene. I posted this on Instagram as well. I should probably date my artworks. I never date them. It would be interesting to see the days that I painted those things. This was an exercise from a book that I bought about colors. I was starting to read it and I didn't continue. I should continue now that I cannot paint. So yeah, there was some exercises with limited color palettes. I don't remember which colors were these, but yeah, I was doing this exercise, and then with the leftover I was just trying painting something, I don't know, flowers, leaves, not thinking too much about it, just to use the paint up, you know. Then here we have another project from the club. This is the Galaxy project that I really like as well. I'm usually not into painting this type of things like galaxies and stuff. I know that they're very, very popular in watercolor, but it's funny because I don't know, I was painting these following what she was doing in the project. Yeah, so I was following the project the same way that she was doing, and somehow it just was, I don't know, in my eyes it was a mess. It was not going the way it was supposed to, and I don't know, I was really almost giving up. But I said, no, let me try a bit more, you know. So I don't know, I added a bit of contrast here and there. I painted the window like she did, and in the end, when I sprayed I use a toothbrush to spray this white paint for the stars. I really liked it. So yeah, I was glad that I didn't stop there. Sometimes with watercolor, I don't know if any of you paint. In my case, it happens many times that I'm painting something and halfway through I'm like, this is not working. It's not working at all. I don't like it. But then if I just keep pushing through a little bit, it just works. At some point it just works. So yeah, this one I really, really enjoyed doing it. I really like this purple galaxy. Then I try to do another negative painting here at the back using complementary color palette, purple and yellow. Some mushrooms, not very convinced. I thought it got a bit messy. It's not really what I wanted to, so yeah, cannot get everything right. This was another project from the club that were little houses. It's a very fun project. She thought, actually, that's the first one I made. The blue ones, that exactly with the same color she used, cobalt blue. I usually with these projects I try in the first one, if I'm making more than one painting, I try to do the first one exactly as she's doing, because sometimes she uses colors that I really I'm not normally reach out for, or paints in a way that I usually don't do. So I find it interesting to try different ways of doing things, so because that's how you kind of you know, learn what you like or not. So yeah, and I really liked it, and I liked it so much that I then painted this second one here, and I published on St. Patrick's Day, because I painted all green, and I painted actually inspired by the rooftops here in Ireland. You can see all the rooftops here in Ireland, they have this chimneys like this. So yeah, that's one of my, you say I like a lot of little houses, no? It's already the third painting on little houses in the sketchbook. This was one version of another project from the club that I did, trying to follow the palette that she proposed. It's okay, it's not bad. I was not I don't know, I wanted something else for it, so I tried again with another palette, and I liked it more the other way I painted. But now looking at it, I also like this one. It's not bad. I'll show you soon. These are the houses that I showed you before. Then this is the other version of that one I painted, and that's the one I posted on Instagram. So this one I decided to go for more of a limited palette, so I didn't use green at all. I just used tones of purple and yellow. This was a mix between the one of the purples I used with the yellow, and here there was some very, very light orange and pink for the clouds. that's was a surprise actually, this painting, because like I said, something that I usually don't do, like clouds. I never thought of painting clouds before, but I enjoyed using this very soft approach. And I also liked using a limited palette and mixing the colors to get, because I think this is a sure way to get colors right. If you use few colors and you just mix them, and every color in your painting has a little bit of the others or the other, is way easier to match colors and to make everything harmonious. So that's what I did here. I really enjoyed it, and I just painted this little moon with a golden paint, a watercolor paint. You can see here. That's when I start using metallics again. I don't know why I got really into metallics lately. I cannot wait to use them again. I don't have anything here, it's blank. Sometimes I leave it blank if I really like the painting that is in front, like this one. Sometimes I leave it blank because I get a bit concerned of messing up with what's behind. So this one was just a test. I was doing mixing watercolors with the liquid charcoal by Schminke. I have the grapeseed one, so I was mixing lemon yellow rather, with the liquid charcoal. I tried here for a kind of negative painting as well. Then I did here something else as well, very simple, like leaves with some bright green that is actually the lemon yellow with a tiny little bit of the charcoal. Yeah, so this was another project of the Watercolor Club, and this was strawberries. And I really like painting these because there was a lot of things that I had never tried before. For example, using opaque paints, mixing paints, watercolors with white, which I did here. I did here for this color as well. This pink also was mixed with white. And it's something that's really, although I have the white, I used for this the white Ecoline that is liquid, so it's just easier to mix with the watercolors. But I don't know why, I was never too much into using pastel or opaque colors, but because this was part of the palette that she used in this project, I said let me try and see how it goes. And I really enjoyed the color palette. It's just beautiful, you know, all of these teal tones with the kind of green ochre over here, and then the pinks is just when I saw the color palette, I was really excited to do it, and I was so happy with the results, you know. She did in some little flowers in hers, but then for mine I decided to do some flowers that look a bit more like the strawberry flowers. And I liked so much the way I came up with these flowers, and they are like this was a very light mix, I believe, of maybe viridian or some kind of green with this pink, and I made it in a very light mix. But you can see, I don't know if you can see here, but in some of the leaves you can see a very light halo of green. You can see here, maybe it's more apparent. Okay, very light halo of green, you know. So I really enjoyed this. It was one of my favorites. Love this painting. It's not always that I love my paintings. Usually I'm very very critical of myself, so yeah. This was a good one. And because I liked so much to make these flowers, I decided to make another painting with flowers. Is this one, that I also really liked it. I made the same type of flowers with similar mix. You can see also in these ones, you can see a bit of this halo that I mentioned of the green. And for the leaves, I used a mix of smalt blue from Winsor & Newton that I absolutely love, with a bit of pink, I believe, to make it more purple. Probably the same pink I used in the other painting, Carmine. And then I added some details with metallic paint here as well. So all the, I forgot how to call this, all these little dots here on the flower centers I made with gold paint. And then I thought that it could be fun to add something in the background, but I didn't want anything too intrusive, so I used one of my pearlescent watercolor metallics from Kramer Pigments. It's kind of pinkish. So if you look like this, you see just a very light shadow. And you can see now it's very sunny here, so the light has changed. I apologize for that because I have a skylight just above me. But you can see here, there's this effect. Of the, it can look like light gray, or depending on how the light hits, like golden pinkish tone. So yeah, I really like painting this one as well. I hope you can see well even with the sun. And I was enjoying using this mix of purples and pinks, so I tried to paint something here, but along the way something went wrong, and I keep trying to fix it, but I didn't like it, so I decided to abandon it. I left it like this. Then this one I already made when I was starting to have my hand problems, so I was trying to work through it. I don't know if I should have, but you know, I painted these also again same mix of actually I used the colors that were left from this painting for these flowers. I had seen someone in the St. Patrick's Festival with a t-shirt or something on a shirt that had some flowers with a similar design, not quite like this. It was only one color in the pattern, a pink, but I said, wouldn't it be nice to make like a quilted look, you know? So I really like this one. It was quite simple, but yeah, and I painted this using the Van Gogh watercolors. I bought a few. I know they're student line, but I really like their paints, and they have some nice colors. So these I used Carmine, and what else? I used Carmine, maybe indigo, and a yellow, but I don't remember, Indian yellow maybe. And I also added some metallics here for the flower center here, so you can see. It's a paint from Kramer Pigments. They have beautiful metallics. Oh, wrong side. This one is blank. It's almost finishing. Then, da-da-da-da. This one is also one that I really liked. This one was really in the middle when I was with my paint flaring up, and I don't know, I had this idea of painting these oranges for a long time, and it just came on me, okay, I'm gonna paint them. I don't know how. I had come across this color here a few days before, maybe a few weeks before even, when I was doing some color mixes. This is a mix of Ocean from Roman Schmoll with Cypress Burn Umber Deep, I guess. That is this dark brown here. So these two colors mixed gave this very deep green, and I was really like inspired by this color, and I thought that would be a really nice color to create this painting of orange that I wanted to do, because it just, I don't know, I think it looks so good with the bright orange, you know, this, like I said, this mix of teal and orange or yellow or red. It's just, I love it. So yeah, and It's funny because I was already having pain and I didn't have any expectations. I just drew it very, you know, how can I say, without any pretension. I was just draw a few balls here and said, okay, let me try and see how it goes, you know. And yeah, it came out very nice. So yeah, I guess sometimes when you least expect, we come up with things that we enjoy. So I suppose I should be less serious about my painting, not be so focused on getting it perfect. And this was the last one I created. This was a second painting for the strawberry project as well. Louisa suggested a few different approaches to do other strawberry paintings. One of them was a negative painting that I like, so I decided to do this one. There are many layers. I say at least 10 or 12. And I decided to add some metallics here as well. You can see in the strawberries and in the flowers a little bit. Yeah, using a lot of my favorite greens and cobalt turquoise. I like this one as well. And this was the last one. This was the last paint that I worked on actually before I started having more paint in my hand, which forced me to stop for my ultimate sadness because I was painting every day and I missed so much. But I hope to get better soon, and I hope this break will give me time to do other things that I wasn't doing before, like the videos for YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, consider subscribing, leave any comment below if you wish, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye!